Hello everybody and welcome back to Cool Tool Tuesday. It has been a beautiful couple of days here. The weather has been cool and we have been working furiously on the house getting ready for our classes. And so everything is pretty awesome. But as promised and on schedule, we have a new video for you guys looking at a very interesting little item that I do not see, you don't see very much down here in the South. This piece most likely came from up north a ways, probably more towards Virginia in the northern area of the country. This is known as a hay knife. Now, hay knives have been around for quite some time. The English versions are a little bit different than this. But there's really been kind of one that's dominated in the late 1800s, and that's this guy right here. So, first of all, what is a hay knife? So, as if you're familiar with anything farm today, most hay comes in either little square bales or big round bales that are put together with a big mechanical machine. It's packed very tightly, and when you want to go feed the cows, you just take the hay-sized bale, chunk it out, and you feed the cows. Back in the day, hay was not stored like this. It was usually bundled up and put into the top of a barn. Now, I know most of you folks haven't dealt with hay, but let me tell you, when hay actually settles and sits in place for a while, it is very difficult to get out and to move it around. So what would happen is that you'd go over to your hay stack and you would take this blade, which was actually sharpened here on these front leading edges, and you would saw into the hay stack and you'd basically take a slice of pie out of the hay, grab it, and then feed it to the cows. These were also used for something known as silage. Silage is disgusting, is what silage is. Silage is a supplement that farmers feed to their cows and other livestock. It involves cutting green material, putting it under a tarp, and it halfway rots, and the smell will make you puke. It's disgusting. Anyway, so the hay knives have been around for quite some time. However, most of the old country English European hay knives are not shaped like this. They normally have a curved blade, usually a short blade, but it's a smooth blade. It does not have this particular serration. Excuse me, something's crawling in my hair. There we go. We're good to go. So, didn't know what that was. It was worrying me there for a minute. Anyway, but this particular pattern is absolutely all over the U.S. Almost all of your old catalogs, Sears and Roebuck, several farm implement carry this particular style, which this was patented and invented by a gentleman named George Weymouth in Maine, I think somewhere around 1871. And Mr. Weymouth had this patent, and then it was later purchased by Mr. Hiram Holt. Now, Hiram Holt's really the one that kind of took this guy and really started producing it en masse. They were making a lot of these things, and they particularly named this one the Lightning Hay Knife, and they were everywhere. I have seen many of these still on eBay and out there for sale, all the catalogs. This is really one of the most dominant hay knives simply because there were so many of them made. The particular company, Mr. Hiram Holt's company that produced this, was bought and sold a couple times, and the actual company that finally had the patent on this, I think only went out of business in 1967. So the company and the lineage was pretty strong. So how do you use this bad boy? Pretty simple. Now this one is bent. Let's take a look here. Let's look at the close-up, and you can see that this handle here has a pretty good bend here. These were all made by blacksmiths in a factory. And one of the cool things about this, if you look right here, of course, you can actually see the forge weld, this right there. The handle's been put on with a fair rule and just riveted back on that end of it, so no problem there. These handles usually do not survive intact. Again, you're dealing with something that could possibly be as old as 1880. As a play on words, the heyday of this was most likely from the 1980s to the 1910s. So you had a really good 30-year run of these guys, which is pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, I said it, Kitty. What would you say? So anyway, so the guy would be used pretty easily. You go up to your hay bale, basically hold it like this, and push in. Now, the lightning knife here was sharpened on this front edge and down here, but it was actually pushing through with those ridges that really cut the hay and made this so distinctive from some of the other European ones. There are supposed to be some stampings on here. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the Hiram Holt Company used a very, very long stamp. However, this guy has seen better days. Again, these guys were used a lot, and a lot of them were manufactured. And I cannot seem to find any stamps or trademarks on here, so we're just going to have to go with the deal. But I will say, again, looking at that forge weld right there, you can see that either this got mashed or it was dropped or somebody, you know, good knows what. But this is about a 1/4 inch thick, and this thing is really twisted. So the trick is that forge weld, whoever the blacksmith was that did that, did a really good job because the weld stuck. And I don't think there's any better testament to craftsmanship than things holding up under pressure. These things are not incredibly expensive. They're out there on eBay. I think they run anywhere from about 40 to 100 bucks depending on it. Cool, neat looking little thing. Again, you don't see these down south. This is usually a up north thing, at least in the antiques I've seen down this way, but still a pretty cool deal. Well, guys, thank you for watching this particular episode. We got some more awesome stuff coming up. I know we've been doing a couple different farm implements, but next time we've actually got some cool blacksmithing things, some really cool blacksmithing things, and appreciate you guys watching. So you guys be careful, be safe out there. Remember, as always, please leave a comment, even if it's just blurb, for the YouTube algorithm demands it. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you guys later.